Hello and welcome to Tale on the Air. I'm Sean, the Fox in the Fedora, and we're here for another fun-filled, thrill-filled game of Champions RPG. For those of you who don't know, Champions is kind of like Dungeons & Dragons, only with superheroes, similar to the characters you'd find in Marvel or DC Comics. Now, instead of going by the traditional and very complicated RPG rules, yeah, I know there'll be those of you out there who'll be like, hey, they're not that complicated or whatnot, but just for our audience sakes and our contestants' sake and especially my sake, I've extremely simplified the rules, which I'll get into in a bit. But hey, RPGs are what you make of them. Now then, on to the game. As it was explained in the new intro of the series, I will be known as Director Fox, and I will send various contestants, aka other heroes, on missions to save the world, or something along those lines. The rules for this RPG have been simplified to dice rolls and improv. Now there is a set ending that the contestants are trying to get to, and I will help steer them to that ending, but the rest of the game is a combination of their imagination and mine. As the game master, I can accept or reject a path they want to take or an idea they have, but one way or another, the contestants/heroes have to abide by the dice. For the contestants, if they roll an odd number, they fail. An even number, they succeed. Our contestants each have 3 lives and 4 hit points per life. The hit points cannot be taken away if they, example, miss a bus they had to get on or something. The hit points can be taken away if the bus is dropped on top of them. Lose the 4 hit points, you lose a life. Lose all 3 lives, and you're out of the game. If both contestants lose, the villain wins. Now, without further ado, since all our contestants created their own superheroes for this season, let's hear from the 2 we have on today. Contestant number 1, can you please tell us who you are, the name and origin of your hero, their powers and weaknesses?
Hello, my name is Ankleblaze. My character's name is Seth Willoughby. His secret identity is Wolf. Seth was born to a family of hybrids. Due to the fact that his brother missed out on most of the gene that he was supposed to receive, Seth received more of the gene, and he was born as a werewolf-like creature. As time progressed, and after having lost both of his parents to an attack of a creature named Banshee, his brother decided to work in the police station and keep any heat off of his brother as well as unnecessary attention. Seth is now 19 years old and he attends college, though he was never fond of it. Seth is a bit hard to communicate with. If he doesn't like an idea, then he won't listen to it. Same goes about people. If he doesn't quite like the person, he won't treat them like equals, being the blockhead that he is, so to say. He will, however, defend anyone that he works with, and he will try his best to help out in any situation. Seth's abilities. Seth was born with 2 powers due to his special gene called Hybrida, Latin for hybrid. The first power of his being pyrokinesis, meaning he can shoot out fire or manipulate it if it is close to him. He can also extinguish flames, whether it's his or not. His second ability is teleporting. He is able to teleport from location to location if he sees a clear image of it. Both of those abilities were unlocked in other circumstances. And weaknesses. Generally, water works perfectly against his fire abilities. He cannot cast his flames if he is drenched in water. However, he can still manipulate them. As for teleporting, blinding him would be the best option to go to make him teleport into a wall or just stun him so he won't be able to use it.
Contestant number 2, introduce yourself, your hero, their origin, powers, and weaknesses.
Yes, it is I. All right. Hi, this is Shanti Wolf, and here's the backstory for Kodiak. Kodiak comes from the Wakoyan-Taka-Mkawa tribe, which basically translates to Big Thunder Bear, of the Great Mountains in his home world. A proud warrior and wise man, he was given the honor of being counselor to the high chief of his tribe and protector of his homeland, from the great mountains themselves to the mighty river that flowed at their base. One day, he was on patrol when he was giving chase to a band of jackals that were raiding his home. He flew into a rage after seeing the strewn bodies of his people, fellow warriors, women, and even children. Unfortunately, he was so blinded by his rage that he did not see that a wizard was among the raiders, and tricked Kodiak into launching himself through a portal of the wizard's creation that sent him away from his home and landed into this new world of heroes and villains. Now he fights to protect his new home, waiting, hoping for the chance to one day return to his people. Kodiak spends most of his time with the creatures of the forest, building a kinship with them, guiding him, sometimes bringing food to him, and even fighting at his side. Kodiak is usually even-tempered and slow to anger, but like many of his kind, can enter a state of rage in times of battle, and when pushed too far. Powers and abilities. Kodiak possesses super strength, heightened sense of smell, commanding roar, which is the ability to call upon and command beasts, a thick hide, high endurance, ground crusher, which is the ability to strike the ground with a ground-breaking stomp that can shatter bones and create multiple fissures in the ground beneath him and his enemies, razor-sharp claws, bone-crushing jaws, primal rage, which is a state that his kind enters in battle that increases strength and endurance, but loses control and sometimes is unable to distinguish between friend or foe. Weaknesses. He is weak to astral magic, natural fire and lightning, and poison if it penetrates his hide.
Okay, welcome Wolf and Kodiak. Here's your mission. It seems we have a new problem now. As you know, Somni and Bestia managed to stop the distribution of Nano-Metatron from Aroika College, and both Divine Lupine and Hybrid successfully destroyed billionaire Carl Chesterton's stash of Metatron on his private island. However, we have now learned, thanks to a conversation overheard by Hybrid and the Divine Lupine while they were on Insula Arum, that whoever Dr. Kenyon is working for has somehow created multiple strains and variations of Metatron. So in other words, Nano-Metatron is only one version of the stuff. Worse yet, we're not even sure how many variations there are. We've tried getting Chesterton or Dr. Moreau to tell us, but Chesterton's army of lawyers are making good and sure that their employer and Dr. Moreau remain nice and quiet to avoid any further trouble. Luckily, there is some good news here. Recent MCPD raids have allowed us to discover that there are other distributing centers for the other strains of Metatron right here in the city. The police managed to acquire one sample of the stuff before the building mysteriously caught fire, and all contents within burnt to the ground before the firemen could arrive. Unfortunately, it was a strain of Metatron we already have in our databases, the regular kind. We suspect that Dr. Kenyon and his mysterious employer have taken to arson in order to destroy all their stashes and cover their tracks. This means we're getting close to their operation, closer than we've ever been before. On the other hand, arson means significant property damage and great danger to civilians nearby. We suspect that we know where the next few Metatron labs might be, and the MCPD will aid you with that. From what we can tell, there are only 3 more possible labs somewhere in the city. Hopefully that means only 3 other strains. Nano-Metatron, Anti-Metatron, which we discovered on Insula Arum, and a 4th kind we haven't come across yet. I want you two to go and find these last 3 labs, acquire samples, and keep an eye out for the arsonist. If we can catch him, he might be able to lead us to Dr. Kenyon. Report to me frequently with updates whenever you can. Good luck, and good hunting.
It shall be done.
Okay then.
Our journey has begun.
So, let's see where we can go first. The only 3 possible lab locations right now are the west side, downtown, and the city center. Alright, so I guess I'll start you guys off at the city center. You walk into Raymond Miller's House of Waffles.
I like waffles.
Let's just take that in for a second. You two walk into Raymond Miller's House of Waffles.
What are these strange-looking things?
You're kidding, right?
No, I've never seen anything like them before. They look like bread, but they have all these weird shapes on them.
So, you know what bread is, but not waffles.
No, I never had anything like this from where I come from.
I think I should probably buy you some then.
Alright, so you two have a seat at one of the booths. I think Kodiak can fit, maybe. Not sure.
Too tight!
Then we'll just get him,
Here, I have a remedy. That's better.
You threw the table!
you can just bill it to the pack. I'll take care of it.
Fox is going to be mad.
Alright, and then suddenly you hear an explosion!
What's that?
That would be our cue.
And over in the direction that we suspected where the Metatron lab might be, you see smoke rising.
Kodiak, time to go.
All right, let's go.
So you head out of Raymond Miller's House of Waffles, down the street, and to the building. It's a fairly large building, not a skyscraper or anything, but it's tall enough. Let's say about, maybe 4 floors. And it is already ablaze. So, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to try to extinguish it.
Okay, so I will roll for that. Let's see, are you powerful enough to extinguish it with your pyrokinetic abilities? Rolling. And it's a 12.
Hooray!
You are able to extinguish the building with one go.
Oh, this is not bad.
Suddenly, from above, you see a person pop out from one of the windows. He is dressed in a heavy gray suit, wearing a gas mask, and he has some kind of tank on his back. And, he's aiming a flamethrower at you. What are you gonna do?
I think this would be a good time to dodge.
Okay. I will roll for Kodiak first since, Wolf already had his turn. So here we go. Will Kodiak dodge? Rolling. And it's a 18.
Nice!
Ha!
Successful dodge. Okay. Now, Wolf, how about you? Will you dodge? It's a 5.
Oh, come on!
This would be a no movement.
Really?
You got hit, so that is a minus 25.
Ow. I extinguished that building in one go.
You extinguish the building and you get caught on fire yourself.
That's just dandy.
Oh, it's just a flesh wound.
You can control it, but you can also still get burned by it. So you're not the Human Torch. Difference between the torch and a pyrokinetic.
Oh, good to know.
Okay, so as the flamethrower guy on the second floor prepares to fire again, you suddenly hear fire engines.
What the heck?
What is that?
The fire department arrives, and the arsonist takes off.
Hey, get back here!
You want to go pursue him?
I would roll for a yes.
All right, Kodiak, you want to do that too?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, here we go. I'll roll for Kodiak. He's going to pursue. All right, this is going to go for a leap to the second floor?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's a 13. You didn't make it.
No!
In fact, what happened is you were leaping forward, the flamethrower guy came back and hit you with a burst of flame.
Ah!
So, guess what? Minus 25.
Ah! Right.
Okay, and now rolling for Wolf. And it's a 15.
Damn it!
Here comes the streak of bad luck.
In this case, you didn't get hit by the flamethrower, but you did miss the building, which caused you to land into a dumpster nearby.
This stinks! Literally!
So, minus 25. Okay. So the arsonist, seeing that he has a moment to take a breather here, decides to relight the building on fire. The job ain't done yet.
Why do people keep playing with fire?
All right, that's enough.
However, then you hear somebody crying for help. On the third floor, you see somebody out the window trying to get your attention for help. Apparently, they've been trapped by the fire.
So, Kodiak, you're going after the pyromaniac while I go upstairs?
Nah. Probably a better idea to extinguish the fire first, at least.
Good point, actually.
So I think probably my move would be is there a fire hydrant nearby?
Yes, there is.
Probably break that and use that to extinguish the flames.
Well, you're about to do that, but suddenly you hear another fire engine siren. This one, however, is a lot more echoey and, in some cases, kind of creepy sounding. You look down the street, and you see what looks like an antique fire engine from, say, like the 1920s coming at you.
What is this?
You look at the antique engine, it stops, and some firemen get out. Their faces are completely covered by masks. Now, here's the weird part. You want to hear the weird part?
What?
Go for it.
Instead of getting a ladder out, they begin floating up to the third floor.
That cannot be natural.
I sense something very wrong here.
So the mysterious floating firemen float up to the third floor, and you hear a scream from the person trapped up there.
Yeah, they probably should have used the stairs like normal people.
Alright, what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I'm going to pursue after them to the third floor with teleportation.
Alright, you're gonna teleport to the third floor. I will roll for that. Of course it was successful.
Hooray!
You made it to the third floor.
I didn't bash myself against the wall.
He's on the third floor. Kodiak, what are you gonna do?
So are the ghosts putting out the fire, or?
Well, the arsonist has taken off, and the ghost-like firemen are now on the third floor. Not sure what they're doing to the person up there.
I'll go with my plan I said before. Just use that fire hydrant to douse it.
All right, so you break the fire hydrant. Are you able to douse it? Here we go. And it's a 14.
Ah!
All right, so you managed to douse the fire just as you see the ghostly firemen bring out the trapped person down to ground floor before getting back into their fire engine and taking off.
Well, that was certainly unexpected.
Okay then. So that was something. So a few hours later, I arrive on the scene. Okay, guys, what happened here?
Well, first we got doused with some fire from some psychopath on the third floor. Kodiak, would you mind continuing the...
And, well, you see, there was this, weird vehicle that came by, and 3, I'm not sure what they were, but started floating up to the sky. You take it from here, Seth.
Basically, there were 3 firemen that could fly, and they had a really antique-looking fire truck.
3 firemen who could fly and an antique fire truck.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. Not the weirdest thing I've heard of, but,
We have a witness.
Oh?
Oh yeah, they carried out some person out of the building before taking off.
Well then, let's talk to this person, shall we? So I go over and I talk to the person. He's actually one of the people who were involved with the Metatron distribution. And aside from placing him under arrest and asking him about Dr. Roland Kenyon, he does corroborate your story and says that the firemen who rescued him seem to almost be transparent.
I never saw anything like this from where I came from.
I have.
You have?
Guys, we may have some on-the-loose spirits. we need to find out why these guys just started showing up. Spirits don't come back just like that. They have to have a reason. So you guys head over to downtown now, where you arrive at a small, surprisingly small for downtown because that's where all the skyscrapers are, small warehouse where we believe the Metatron is being stored. After the Eroica College incident, they had to move whatever supplies they had left to this place. The lab that you guys were just at was actually the one that was housing any Metatron. Alright, so what are you guys going to do?
I suggest a stealthy entrance would be advisable.
Okay, he wants to take the stealth approach.
I could probably port us in, though unless you want to perhaps end up smashing against the wall, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, so you're not going to teleport in.
I think I'll go with Kodiak's approach.
Okay, how are you going to get in stealthily?
We could access the back door of the facility.
Yeah, you could try the back door.
I was thinking more like the, thank you, now I just remember the word. The skylight.
The skylight. Okay, you want to see if the warehouse has a skylight. Alright, does this building have a skylight? Rolling. Sorry guys, no skylight. 11.
Oh!
It does have a top, a roof door, that is.
Well, this could work.
Okay, so you want to try the roof door?
I could burn off the lock.
Okay, so you're going to burn off the lock. I won't roll for that. That's easy enough. So you burn off the lock, and the two of you go through the door and head down into the warehouse. Inside the warehouse, you see that it's completely empty of anybody. There's plenty of boxes around, but nobody's there. It's actually very quiet.
Something feels wrong about this.
Suddenly, there's an explosion right where you are, knocking both of you back. Alright, so, you have an explosion, you got knocked back, you both look up and see the arsonist, all in his gear once again, standing there in the middle of the flames, just lighting everything on fire.
You again!
He
turns and sees you, gets a little scared, and starts running.
What happened to the stealth approach?
I think that moment has passed.
Alright. Fair point.
So you, what are you gonna do? The arsonist is trying to get away.
Time for the chase.
Okay, you want to go after him?
I could stay in the facility and actually turn it off before it causes any damage to the surroundings.
You gonna put out the fire again?
Yep.
All right, rolling for Wolf here first. Gonna put out the fire. All right, and he got a 5. Apparently it didn't work.
Well, this is just getting better and better.
So, I'm not going to take minus 25 off yet because the fire hasn't exactly reached you yet. Now for Kodiak. You're going to go after him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're chasing him, and suddenly he turns and prepares to fire at you.
I try to use my claws to cut his line before he gets a chance to fire.
Alright, going for the line here to the tank. And it's a 6! So now he's down a weapon. Yeah, he's really scared now. He's turning, he's running as fast as he can. In fact, he even threw the tank at you. He took it off real fast, just chugged it at you.
That's true.
Well, I have been told I am finding myself very intimidating.
Alright, back to Wolf. You want to try putting out the fire again?
I could, yeah.
Alright, once more. Here we go. And it's a 17.
Time to throw in the hat.
Still too strong. Quitting the superhero business early, are we? Suddenly, you hear that familiar sound of a siren.
Oh, this is perfect, actually.
Through the wall, without breaking it, comes the antique fire engine.
You guys just keep getting creepier and creepier, you know that, right?
They jump out of their fire truck, and with a wave of all their hands, the fire is put out.
Come on! I weakened it.
Oh dear. Okay, so the firemen, the ghostly firemen, hop back into their truck real fast and take off. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to port to the rooftop to follow them.
Okay, porting to the rooftop and rolling for that. And it's a 3.
I probably just smashed myself against the wall.
Probably.
I won't take points off for that. You're fine still. That was just an out moment. Okay, so Kodiak, what are you gonna do?
Well, is the arsonist still within range of me, or?
Well, with the arrival of the fire truck, you probably got a little sidetracked as you watch them work the fire and just put it out.
I'm just going to sulk in the corner now.
Yeah, if I probably lost sight of the arsonist, I'd probably investigate the engine.
Okay, so you're going to follow them? How are you going to follow them?
Probably just jumping on the roof and just watching them from a higher perspective.
Okay, then, you're going to, with your super strength, you go right through the roof. So you get to the roof, you look over the edge, you see the fire truck rolling down the street, and suddenly, it vanishes. Thankfully, though, you were able to get one bit of info from this. On the side of the fire truck was a number, 1750.
What does this mean?
So what would you like to do with that info?
Could we perhaps go to the library and check if there's any records, or to the MCPD?
Okay, so you want to go to the MCPD and check for the records? Okay, we are going to the records. Not going to roll for this one. You get there and you begin searching through the records. They're more than happy to oblige. And as you search, you come across exactly what you're looking for. Engine 1750. It was put out of service in the late 1920s. It was actually the people who were in charge of that engine were given a few medals for their courage because of an arsonist they were fighting back then. The arsonist was caught, and the firemen were considered heroes by the people of Detroit, because Millennium City, which we are in right now, used to be Detroit. However, their heroic tale ended in tragedy when one fire got the better of them. All the men of Engine 1750 perished a year before the Great Depression. The names of the people in charge of that fire engine were Harrison Marsh, Tom Saunders, and Mick Williams.
So this just confirms that they are ghosts.
However, there's no other previous mention of their ghosts coming back anytime before now. They've been at peace for this long. Why come back? Alright, so you guys are able to find, however, one other bit of info in the records. The person in charge of, or who was in charge of Engine 1750, Harrison Marsh, he has a descendant living right here in Millennium City. And his name is Dorian Allen.
Well, that seems convenient.
So, do you want to go visit Mr. Allen?
Well, we don't have any more leads, so yeah.
It'd probably be best if I just kept to the perimeter of the place of residence, otherwise I might draw too much attention.
So you get Dorian Allen's address, you head on over there, and Wolf goes in under his secret identity, not appearing as a werewolf. So what are you going to ask him?
Could I persuade him to let me take a tour around his house, saying that I'm a police agent?
Okay, first of all, he wants to see some identification. You got any identification?
Well, I have my brother's badge.
Okay, well, you borrowed your brother's badge, and there you go.
Borrowed, stole, same thing.
Alright, so you show him that, and now I won't roll for that. You go ahead and, he lets you in, and for time's sake, we'll say you got a search warrant as well. Otherwise, this episode will be a few hours long as we wait for things to process. So now you are in his house. Where would you like to look?
Basement first.
Okay, heading down to the basement. And you find 11. Nothing out of the ordinary.
All right. I'm really on a short leash, aren't I?
Well, there's other places you could look.
I could check his garage.
Okay, going for the garage. Anything in the garage? And it's a 9. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Bedroom.
By now, Mr. Allen is like, what are you even looking for? Did I do something wrong? Going for the bedroom.
Oh,
Tune in next week for when Wolf searches every nook and cranny.
This isn't going well.
By the time we get to next week, he'll have torn down the entire house. All right, yeah, send me the bill. I'll rebuild it. Okay, rolling for the bedroom.
Dear God, please.
17, nothing out of the ordinary.
Come on.
Oh dear.
Alan is now like, what are you looking for?
Kodiak. I'm losing my patience.
Do we have radio communication at this point?
You've always had radio communication.
Kodiak, please.
All right, Kodiak, what do you think you should do?
Where have you looked so far?
Basement. His bedroom. Don't ask. And his garage. Nothing out of the ordinary.
What's that space in between there and the top of the building?
You mean the attic?
If that's what you call it, then yes.
Okay, searching the attic. Rolling. It's an 8.
Finally.
So you go up into the attic. You were Mr. Allen was hoping that you wouldn't go up there. He said there was nothing up there of any importance anyway. He hasn't been up there himself in a few years. Doesn't really use the space, he said. You go on up, and at first it's pretty much exactly what he said. Just not a lot up there. Kind of some insulation, the air conditioning units, all that good stuff. Then you spot it. It. You spot a gas mask.
Is that the gas mask of the pyromaniac, or is that the gas mask of the ghost?
Rolling. It's a 6. You turn around and Mr. Allen tries to hit you over the head with a baseball bat, but you dodged.
Hooray! I'm going to kick him in the face now.
Well, at least you managed to find the pyromaniac. Okay, so here we go. Kicking him in the face.
Now, see, this is where I'm tempted to have my character enter and say, "Hi, remember me?"
Wolf, you got a 15. You missed.
Call in Kodiak.
So, Kodiak, what do you want to do?
Here's Johnny.
Okay, so Kodiak bursts in. The guy freaks out, throws the baseball bat at you.
What's with him and throwing stuff?
I catch it and I throw it back at him.
Throwing it back at him. And it's a 3. He managed to dodge. He is now on the run.
I've been more than patient with him. Can't I just teleport like on top of him and smash his head into the ground?
Oh, jeez.
Well, you could teleport and I could tackle him and get you both in the same run.
That sounds good.
Alright, here we go. And it's a 20. You teleport on him. Now, Kodiak, you're going to tackle him?
Yes.
Alright, let's see if that works. Nope, you missed.
No!
And he manages to get Wolf off his back.
Oh, Kodiak!
So Alan runs into his garage, jumps into his car, and drives off.
Kodiak?
What?
I had him.
Suddenly, you get a call from me.
Uh-oh.
Hi there, Chief.
Hey guys, I heard about what you found out in terms of the mysterious fire engine. I may have a way you guys can possibly find out where they're buried. What we're going to do is I want you guys to go to a shop here in Millennium City called Mitch Merlin's Curio Shop. Watch out for Mitch Merlin. He's kind of a prankster and a bit of a con, but he does have and collects actual magical artifacts. There's a particular artifact in there, harmless, but you can use it to track possibly where these ghosts are coming through a portal.
Director?
Yes?
You might want to warrant an arrest on Alan,
Who?
the descendant of one of the firemen.
Seriously, that guy's the arsonist?
Yeah.
Talk about the apple falling far from the tree. Okay, I'll put out a warrant for his arrest, but you guys go over to Mitch Merlin's.
All right, we'll meet this shaman.
All right. So you guys head over to Mitch Merlin's Curio Shop, and you're immediately greeted by a sleazeball of a dude with a long white beard. Kind of looks like Merlin, but like the classic depictions of Merlin the Magician. Only again, you know, he kind of looks like he's...
A hippie?
No, he's more like ready to pull a fast one on you. Kind of like one of those fast-talking salesman type.
And Kodiak doesn't care much for wizards.
Well, this guy ain't a wizard. He's just a fast talker. He just collects the magical stuff. He can't use it. He just sells it for astronomically high prices. Alright, so you head on in. He greets you. He starts pushing stuff towards you. Like, would you like to buy this? It's cheap. Cheap, real cheap. Only 500. He shows you the artifact, and then the price tag. Rolling for price tag. It's $6,000.
What?
Well, I'm a bit short on cash.
Well, then Mitch Berlin says that you're not going to get it.
Okay, then, Kodiak, you take it from here, buddy.
Oh. Well, I think a little intimidation, a growl, and a possible roar might lower the price a bit.
Okay, let's see what happens. Go ahead with intimidation. Rolling. 11. He is not intimidated. In fact, he's just like, cute. Do you take that one on the road too? Is that how you keep food on the table? You mind it? So yeah, he's not budging.
Oh god, I'm going to have to give it up. Would he be interested in the trinket?
What trinket?
The one that switches between werewolf form and normal form for Seth. Wolf.
Oh, really now? That does interest him. How much you asking for it?
Just the artifact. A fair trade for something as rare as a banshee bone.
Really now? Okay, then let's see if he goes for it. Rolling. It's a 20. He'll take it.
I'm not going to hear the end of this from my brother.
So he gives you the artifact, he takes your trinket, and as you leave, you hear him yell back, "Pleasure doing business with you."
You're lucky on that I'm under surveillance.
Are you sure that was a good idea?
No.
Just know, that's it. So you guys perform the right spell with the artifact that I told you to, and suddenly you start picking up like almost a signal from this strange-looking. We'll say it kind of reminds you of a dowsing rod or whatnot. It's really kind of weird looking, and you get the signal, and you follow it to the west side. In fact, it leads to the West Millennium Church. So you enter the church and you are greeted by the head pastor of the church, Father Andrew Parks. He welcomes you and asks what he can do for you.
Can't we, ask him to let us into the lower section of the church if they have one?
You want to check out the cemetery?
Yes.
The catacombs.
Oh, they don't have any catacombs, but they definitely have a cemetery, so... Rolling. 14. He is more than happy to take you back there. So you guys follow him back to the cemetery, and of course, the artifact is going crazy now, and even Father Andrew Parks notices it, and he's a little uneasy as well. Whatever is in that cemetery definitely shouldn't be there. So apparently this is the portal where the ghostly fire truck goes from and comes to every time the arsonist strikes. There are some questions, though. How did this portal even get here? But you'll have to answer that later. Right now, you have to find a way to close the portal.
I'm guessing tossing the object into the portal won't be the brightest idea.
No, that's just a way to locate it. You can't really shut it that way.
No.
Suddenly, the fire truck comes zooming out of the portal.
It's attacked!
You see the fire truck go off, and you then notice, in the west side, just a few blocks away, smoke. The final Metatron lab is going up, and probably Alan is still at it.
Okay, he's just asking for a visit at this point.
He's not gonna get away this time.
Okay, so you guys head on over to the final Metatron lab, which is also the lab which we have no idea what's in it. We don't know what kind of Metatron strain is in there. So we need you guys to make sure that you get a sample of whatever kind of Metatron is in that lab or whatever it is. We're not sure what it is. Maybe just be a warehouse full of the stuff. So, okay, so you get there, you find the building on fire. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to extinguish it.
Okay, here we go again with Wolf trying to extinguish. And it's a 4. Congratulations.
I feel like a broken record.
Alright, Kodiak, what are you going to do?
I'm going after the arsonist.
Okay, so you're going to just ram right through the wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, ramming through the wall. And it's a 17.
Ow.
I guess the wall is a lot thicker than he expected.
Yes, it is. So, now what are you going to do?
I could teleport us in there.
Okay, are you cool with that, Kodiak?
Ow.
I'll take that as a yes. Teleporting. And it's a 19.
Ow!
You hit the wall this time, and with Kodiak, so you both hit the wall.
You and your teleportation.
You and your pouncing. I had him.
Still on that, huh? Okay, now what are you gonna do?
Can't I just burn the wall?
Okay, we're gonna burn the wall. Okay, trying that. Burning wall.
First I extinguish it, now I'm burning it. Great.
Oh, come on, another 19?
What is this made of?
You know what? I think if we're gonna get anywhere, probably best, might get them all in one shot. Who knows? Use my ground crusher and sink the building.
You're just gonna sink the building? Wow, okay.
We need the Metatron inside of it though. Intact.
You need a sample. You don't need to get the whole thing, just a sample.
No. Go ahead.
Well, that might still damage all samples.
Oh. Are you sure you want to do this?
Well, it's either that or call a stampede.
Okay, so you're gonna call a stampede, you're gonna sink the building, you're gonna try going through the wall again, maybe you weaken the wall now that you've hit it and burn it.
How about we just try the door?
Trying the door, here we go. Hey, a 4, the door just opened, it was unlocked the whole time.
Oh, come on!
So you two...
Oh, dear.
So you two head on in, and inside you see Alan, but He's not in his gear, because he had to abandon that real quick, and he's also on his knees, and he looks extremely scared. He is surrounded by the ghostly firemen, and they have taken off their masks to reveal decaying corpses.
Wow, that's an ungodly sight.
From nearby, you listen as who you can only guess is the spirit of Harrison Marsh steps forward and begins yelling at Alan. He is angry that his descendant is tarnishing what he worked so hard for, what he worked so hard to fight. Now they are back, somehow, even though they don't know how they've come back from the afterlife, and want to end Alan's arsonist ways for good. So, what are you gonna do?
I'm just going to go take a sample now.
You're just gonna leave Alan at the mercy of the ghosts? Okay, so let's see if you can find a sample. And nope, the first box you searched, there is no samples in there.
I found a chest over here.
Okay, now rolling for Kodiak. Will he find a sample? It's a 14. He did.
Of course you do.
So you find the sample of unknown Metatron, just as you hear Harrison Marsh threaten his descendant. He's going to destroy him. He's going to give him a taste of his own medicine. Suddenly, you see the firemen burst into flames.
Didn't he just lecture him about being a fire hazard?
Yeah, well, don't worry. It's not catching anything else on fire. It's only going to catch Alan on fire. So now you have a choice. You going to defy these ghosts and rescue Alan, or let him burn?
Even for all that he's done, he doesn't deserve this.
Tempting, but no. I won't let him burn.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go fight the ghost firemen. Okay, so I guess the first thing you should do is probably get Alan out of there. So which of you would like to get Alan out, or at least try to get Alan out?
I could teleport him out of there, or at least ram him into a wall.
Alright, trying to rescue Alan with teleportation. Here we go! Another 11? Okay, you rammed him into a wall, so he's out cold, but at least he's away from the firemen.
This won't end well.
So now the firemen see you and they're really angry. They're like, you know, back away. This is our fight. You don't need to be here. So now the ghosts are coming after you.
I don't feel like being a barbecue wolf.
Well, you know you're not going to be able to attack ghosts. I mean, they're ghosts. So you need to find another way to fight back.
Vacuum cleaner.
This is not Luigi's Mansion.
This isn't Ghostbusters either.
Aww. That's what I was aiming for.
Is there any way to reason with them?
Let's see. 15. Nope.
Ah!
In fact, you tried to reason with them, and they blast you. So, minus 25.
Ah!
Can't I extinguish them?
Can you... Okay, you want to try and extinguish them? Alright, let's see if that works. Nope! They have spiritual fire, which means minus 25.
Lovely.
Alright, so what are you guys gonna do?
Let's see, I'm thinking of two options here. Either destroy the building around us while escaping, or just hit and run.
Okay, well again, you can't really do anything to these ghosts. They're ghosts.
We could lure them back to their portal. Shove them in there.
Ah, there's an idea. You want to try that?
So pretty much run.
Pretty much run.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both grab Alan. Well, one of you grabs Alan, probably not both, but you both. That's actually a funny sight, actually. Both of you grabbing the bad guy and run out. Okay, so we'll say that Kodiak grabs Alan, and you both run out and head back to the portal. Right behind you, chasing you, is the antique fire engine, 1750. And it, too, is on fire.
Oh, come on. This is getting silly.
So, okay, so it's coming at you. What are you going to do? You're almost to the cemetery, but this thing's catching up to you.
I'm not quite sure I should try to teleport right now.
Well, it's a better idea than what I can do.
You might want to teleport to the cemetery and see if that works.
Luck be on my side, please.
Alright, here we go. Teleporting. Luck doesn't like you. You got a 3. instead of going straight with the teleportation, you kind of veer off and hit a nearby wall.
Ow.
What's with me and walls today?
In fact, you teleported so hard into that wall, you broke it and ended up in somebody's living room. They are very startled.
Hi.
Hi.
The ghostly fire truck is now right behind you.
We'll fix this, but first, run.
Burst to the other wall, get to the cemetery.
Okay, let's try that. Going through the other wall. Hey, it's a 14!
Woo!
You apologize to the family, burst through their other wall, and get to the cemetery.
Sorry about that. Don't mind us. We're going through. Bye.
You burst through the other wall, get to the cemetery, and arrive at the portal. Of course, the ghosts are right behind you. So Father Andrew Parks is still there, and the ghosts approach you, and now you are trapped. The ghosts don't seem to be falling back into the portal anytime soon. In fact, they still seem like they're really adamant about getting Alan.
Use the power of prayer to save us.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, because Father Andrew Parks admits something that he keeps secret to actually mostly everybody.
Oh.
He's an exorcist.
Beautiful.
So I'm now rolling for the father.
Please don't get caught on fire.
The roll is an even. Yes! You get a 4. With Father Andrew's gift, the firemen are pulled back into the portal, and the portal is sealed shut.
Oh, glad that's over with.
Then the police show up, and they arrest Alan.
Can't I just burn him a little bit?
No, let it be.
Then I arrive with Mitch Merlin.
Give me my trinket, you fraud.
Wolf, I believe that this man has something that belongs to you. He'd like to give it back as long as you can give back the artifact that you borrowed from him.
Sure, he can have it. I don't even want it anymore.
At first, Mitch is very reluctant to give it back.
I want to intimidate him by bursting out flames out of my hands, saying that I'll burn down his shop if he doesn't.
Okay, let's try that. It's an 8. He's intimidated. He doesn't want his business gone. He gives back the trinket and runs off screaming.
Yay!
If he tries to sue, don't worry, we've got lawyers. Anyway,
Okay, good.
and with that, it looks like everything's cleared up here. I mean, we'll analyze that one sample of Metatron you got from the last warehouse, and we'll see if Alan knows where Dr. Kenyon and his mysterious employer are hiding. Hopefully we'll find out something. But there's only one question that doesn't seem to have any answers. Even Father Parks isn't sure where this came from, and that's that portal. Ghosts, even ghosts like that, can't just open a portal. Somebody else did. We're not sure who that somebody is, but somebody with very powerful magic. So we all go our separate ways, go off to do what we need to do, take Alan to prison, and leave the cemetery. But off in the distance, floating nearby, is a man in a very strange and foreboding garb. He wears an armor very similar to another villain we all thought was dead. Game set. Okay, so let's check out the points here. Kodiak, you have the more points this time.
Yeah! Woo!
But good job to you both. You managed to stay alive. And next time, we will continue this story arc and see where it takes us next. Until then, bye!
Bye.
So long, farewell, at Wiedersehen, adieu.
Thank you for watching Tale in the Air. The characters in World of the Champions RPG are owned by their respective owners. The characters created by our contestants are owned solely by the contestants. The Fox and the Fedora, Tale in the Air, and Director Fox are all owned by Sean Basinger, No Sense Entertainment, and Z Media Productions. All rights reserved.